Hey, good morning, everyone. Rory Powers, Right Line Trading. Before we get started, give me just a moment. Get my chat going. All right, there we go. This broadcast is for demonstration and educational purposes only. It's important to know that I'm not a licensed financial advisor, that there is a considerable, significant, substantial amount of risk when trading the financial markets. If you're not familiar with that risk, you better ask somebody. Please consult with a licensed financial advisor. All right. Good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday, March 4th. If you're joining us today, praise the Lord. Any day above ground is a blessed day. You are in the game. Let's win it. Let's win the game today, March 4th. And I'm going to try to do a better job of quantifying my entries. And moving forward, I think what we'll do is by quantifying our entries, we're going to set some rules and guidelines as to when we're going to be taking trades. So our trading becomes a little easier to follow if you're trading our system along with us. We want to make an improvement in that regard. So anyway, let's take a look before we get started at the Forex Factory. Today is, again, March 4th, 2026. And today's news report is extremely news-driven market. We have a catalyst event that's going on 24/7 right now. And that's the political unrest, the geopolitical unrest in the Middle East. Almost the entire Middle East has been drawn into this conflict. And it is causing some volatility, especially in the oil prices. But let's see what other economic news reports are going to be released during this live stream. At 10 a.m., we have a red folder report, the ISM Services PMI. A red folder report, what that means is it's high impact. Good morning, Alejandro. Good morning, Rao. Thank you for joining us today. And at 10:30, a big one is crude oil inventories. Crude oil inventories. Sometimes I like to get in the game. Those can be big movers, especially right now with that conflict. That Iran is trying to close the Strait of Hormuz up and not allowed shipping lane that provides 20% of the world's crude oil through that shipping lane. If that gets shut down, the price of oil, like we've seen, is going to continue to go up. So the crude inventory report, we'll see what that looks like at 10:30 a.m. Eastern. Most importantly, at 10 a.m., govern yourselves accordingly. The ISM Services PMI report's coming out. Overnight, let's take a look and see what the E-mini did, the S&P 500. Let's scroll back to when this session opened at 1800 hours, which is right here. We took a leg up. The Asian session started with a leg down, actually, with a move to the downside. You could see here. And then at about 1:30, things changed around going into the London Open, and things popped to the upside. Pre-market, we've had a retracement to the VWAP and now a little bit of a bounce back up. And we're a little bit higher than where the market where this session opened. Price is a little bit higher. On the NASDAQ, looking at the 20U, I saw my chart for some reason has this big gap up. I don't know if that's just me or that's everybody. But I've got a gap up. The session opened If we go back to 1800 hours, I don't know if it's a gap up or not. Looks like we were right here, actually. At midnight, it's possible I lost connection, it appears, but I'm not sure. That could be a gap up. But we are much higher than when the session opened currently. Price is just breaking down below the VWAP. Tom, sorry to hear that, my friend. The NQ's been doing a lot better than the ES just like very recently. On that 1 day pass we're referring to. On my leaderboard, the Revo NQ30 is number one, numero uno. The Golden Goose, that's our bot trading the gold market, is up 430. Our NQ Leapfrog is up 277. Let's pivot to the NQ. We're going to be trading some evals today. When I trade the PA accounts, I pivot to the MNQ. Let's go to the Leapfrog. The Leapfrog is currently in a short position. The ES Star, about $160 right now. And the ES Scalper. I've been doing really well on the ES Scalper. And what I look for on the ES Scalper, the market's getting ready to open now. And this is one of my go-to bots. When I see these crosses come in, I look to get into that position. If it's currently in a position, I'll close it and I'll engage my trade copier and let it take the next entry when I see these crosses underneath my bars, whether it be green crosses to the upside or the red crosses to the downside. That's one of the entries I love to take. The other entry I love to take is on the Leapfrog. It's almost an opening range breakout trade that I take. And I'm going to be doing a better job of quantifying and explaining why it is that I enable my trade copier when I do. Market's just opening now. And let's give it a time. The retirement plan took off. So we're going to wait for the market to settle down after the opening bell. Good morning, George. Please let us know about that MBT. Very interesting. What we're looking for on the 30 range. First, we're going to see if the market conditions allow us to take an entry on a 30 range on the NASDAQ. We're currently in this conflict in the Middle East, and it's been very volatile. If the whipsaw is just untradeable, we pivot to a 20 Unorenko strategy. That would either be the retirement plan or the Mack truck. So we're just kind of take what the market will allow us, will give us. Here comes another retirement plan long. I'm going to try to take this retirement plan long here. If this continues to the upside, it's going to fire me in the trade for a long move. It's early. It's 9:32. Let's just wait. Let the market find a direction. There's no rush. We're going to take our time. Yes, the 30 range. Yeah, I have 3 evals on my leader account. The one that I choose to enable is going to trade 3 evals at once. Here comes the retirement plan long. I love the entry. It's just a little early in the session, and I kicked myself yesterday for taking a trade so early, and there was just no follow through. So I'm going to take my time today, and I'm really going to wait for the market to give us a really juicy trade when it's moving really nice. What I'm referring to is price action, right? I'm not going to get in when the market is chopping and hasn't found a clear direction. No, we don't trade through the news, especially a red folder report. A crude inventory report, yes, we have traded through those. Those aren't really high impact reports. But the opening range breakout trade, that was an example of one of them. It broke just above my area of resistance. It was really a stop sweep is what they did. They let it come right above resistance and then took out everybody's stop. So we want to make sure to get a clean break before we get into those long positions. So what I'm trying to do is talk my way through of why I enable my copier when I do. So now we got another breakout, but we're going to let it get confirmation. They kind of gave us the old head fake again. They like to do those stop sweeps where they'll let it break resistance by a bar or two and then come flying back down. So we want to truly get a clean break and some nice movement to the upside. We're getting some good buying pressure here. Price is right between the 50 and our area of resistance. And that volatility builds up and pops it out in one direction or the other. Here comes the retirement plan with a retracement right back to the VWAP. Our RSI line is going to come down into that red area. Now this could be a Mack truck short on our 20U. Nope. Or a retirement plan long. If it bounces to the upside, it's a retirement plan long. If it continues short, it'll be a Mack truck entry. So the opening range breakout that we're looking for is the software does a beautiful job of defining risk. We've got our area of resistance up top, our red line. Our area of support is our blue line. And our 50 is right in the middle of both of those. We always respect the VWAP, which is that yellow line. Let's take a look at our ES8U on a short. Those crosses are just starting to come in now. And price is bouncing off the VWAP. So let's see if it continues up or it breaks through the VWAP and we get a short move. Here comes the retirement plan. Right into the VWAP and the 50. I'm just going to watch this trade. In order for the retirement plan to fire off, I need a green 50. If that 50 is red, it's not going to take the trade. Setting up for the Mack truck. So we're going to patiently. I need to practice a little more patience and discipline. I'm sure all of us do. And let's wait for our move. Retirement plan's in. Now I tighten my stop on my retirement plan. I don't want to risk more than 250 or 300 per trade. So I brought my stop into 50 or 60 ticks. So if your stop is a little looser than mine, that's why. Got stopped out. It did this yesterday, and then we got some beautiful moves to the downside. Hey, Mike, good morning. Not on minis, no. We can't have loose stops on minis. You're right, unless we have a big account. On the micros, we could give it a little more leeway, a little more wiggle room. But on the minis, if we're trading $50,000 evals with a $2,500 drawdown, we can't trade with loose stops. So I think what my goal is going to be is to have rules and guidelines that we follow, and everybody we spell them out and define what they are. We got an email yesterday from one of our members that said he's having a hard time following us in the room, and Mark and I both took it to heart because it's true. It's not easy to follow us. And I think the reason is we don't really quantify exactly what we're doing. Boy, that retirement plan just took a beautiful short trade. Look at that. Let's see if it gets some follow through. This could be a leapfrog short. My 20U is short. I want to break support. My entry is the break of support here. That's what I'm timing out on my copier. That's that opening range breakout trade. Now my 20 Unirenko on my NASDAQ is below my 50. My 15 is crossed the 50 and it's below the 50. So we're only looking for short entries on the NASDAQ. On the E-mini, we got our cross. That's what we're looking for. Our scalper is in. I'd love to take this trade. I'll show you how I do it. The way I do it is I enable it now. And I'll go to my ES scalper strategy and I'll squeeze it out. Now that it's broken through the VWAP, I'm going to take my stop and squeeze it. And I really want it to stop out and put me in the next short trade. And all I'm looking to do is get to my profit target of 250 or 300. That's all I want. Need a break of support on the NASDAQ here. A lot of buyers sitting there. Come on down. I always like to bring my profit goal right to resistance, to right to support. Don't come up. I can only risk 250 on the trade. If I get to minus 250, I'm out. Let's get a break of support here. Let's get a break of support. Come on down. Oh, man almighty. Took a huge burst of volatility. And that's the trade I like to do to make about $250. It's a scalp. And I'll hit my profit goal and I'll close the position. And the reason that I took the trade and I enabled my copier was because price broke down below the VWAP and I had those crosses. That's a confluence indicator. I know that what that's telling me is that software is defining risk to be at its lowest. It also means if my strategy's enabled, that bot's going to trigger a trade. So it was in the trade, but I didn't have my copier enabled. So what I did was I brought my stop and squeezed the trade out, and I enabled my copier. And it got me into the trade just far enough to get me my 250. And as soon as I got there, I was gone. I've been using that trade here the last couple weeks or so with pretty good success. Now, good thing we got out because the market now is reversing. Watch this Mack truck come through. Mack truck's got to be in. That's the Mack truck entry all the way. When it plows right through that 50, that's the Mack truck's entry right there. Bam. Here comes retirement plan short. Here comes retirement plan short. Let's see if it gets some follow through the downside. It's bouncing off the VWAP. You could see what an area of support that VWAP is. You see what price is doing. Now it broke it. Almost. Tom, the reason I stopped the trade out, that's a good question. Thanks for asking that. What happened is I went to my ES scalper chart, okay? And what I noticed was I saw these crosses came in and I was below the VWAP. But the bot had already taken a trade, okay? The bot was already in. Hold on. The bot was already in a trade, Tom. My copier was off, so I didn't have it copied to my prop accounts. My copier was off, but the strategy was in a trade. It was running in my SIM account, okay? I saw my trigger come to life with the red X and the break below the VWAP. So in order to get into it, I had to squeeze my stop. Before I squeezed my stop, I turned my copier on. Then I took my stop and squeezed the trade out, smothered it. And what happened was because these crosses are coming, the automation is going to kick right back in. But this time when it kicks back in, I'll have my copier enabled. So it copies across my Apex accounts. It's getting ready to jump again. It's already in. But I don't have the crosses. I like the crosses to kick in. Is what really gets me motivated on the trade. What will happen is the market will start trending in one direction or the other. And the NQ30 will be a lot of whipsaw, very risky. But the ES will have a very smooth excursion, either up or down. So that's why I stop myself out. So I can get into the trade on my copier on the next trigger that my leader account enters into. Because my leader account is that ES scalper, which is running in my automated strategy. So I'm stopping that trade out, enabling my copier. So as soon as it fires another trade, which it will instantly, because those crosses are telling me, hey, if your strategy's enabled, it's going to fire a trade. That's not true. No, that's not what I woke up when I was what I was thinking when I woke up, Mike. So here we go. Let's go back to the leapfrog. Thank you. Thank you for that reminder, MDS. We've got a 10 a.m. red folder report. 10 a.m. red folder report. Excuse me just a moment. Okay, sorry about that. Now, the opening range breakout trade is when we break through support or resistance. This red line just above my 30 range is resistance. I want to make sure that when the bot triggers a trade, that I'm not trading into support or resistance, right? So if I'm anywhere near these lines, I'm not going to enable my copier. Now, we have a parameter in the strategy itself that it's a filter, and it prevents the trade from executing if there's a pivot before your first profit target. Okay. So if I see that price is coming, that the entry would fire into a pivot, I'm just not going to enable my copier. Just not going to enable it. I'll wait for a break of either support or resistance. I was talking to one of our members, Eric, yesterday, and he was telling me, I've been trading for 40, 50 years. And what he's found is that there's, maybe three times during the day, maybe 3 or 4 times during the trading session, at least 3, that there's a really beautiful move, whether it be up or down. And, what he's found is that if you're patient enough to wait for it, you'll get yourself a really nice entry. Yeah, there's a lot of chop. That's the problem. That is the problem. We're staying right within our range, our opening range here. We're coming right back down to the VWAP. The steps, Tony, is I'm first when I see it set up and I know I want to get into that ES scalper. Okay, I know I'm going to want to get into the ES scalper. Why? Because I see market structure wise, I have a cross of my 15 and 50. If I see those yellow high volume candles, it's a extra bonus. It's extra confirmation that institutions are driving the price lower. I've broken through my VWAP. My first step, if I'm in the trade, now the ES scalper bot is already in the trade short here. Okay. So my first step is to enable my copier that has the ES scalper as my leader account. That's step 1, enable. Okay. Step 2, take my stop and squeeze the heck out of it. So the trade gets stopped out. What's going to happen is it's going to, within the next moment or two, the next push down, it's going to trigger another automated entry on my scalper. Okay. And it's going to do it across my Apex accounts because the ES scalper is my leader account and I've enabled it prior to doing this. Yesterday, if you go back and watch the replay yesterday, I took a bad trade early at 9:32. I almost did it again today. And that's why I stopped myself, because I was thinking yesterday, I wish I was more patient and disciplined. It was too early to take that trade just yet. So I quickly disabled it today at 9:32. I almost fell right back into the same trap on the retirement plan. But if you watch yesterday's session, what happens is after I make that mistake, I caught two beautiful trades doing this trade on the ES scalper, waiting for these crosses. If any of our members need my same chart template, let me know and I'll share it in Discord. So you'll get the same exact crosses that I'm getting. They're beautiful signals. They come in right at the 1550 cross. You could see it. My 15 just crosses my 50, and that red X comes up. And I was waiting for it to come through that VWAP. Once I saw it break through that VWAP, I knew we had a nice entry. So that's the confluence that it's looking at. It's looking at market structure, 15 crossing the 50, prices below, and I'm getting a cross. What template is that chart? That's an ES on the 8 Unorenko. Good question. That's the ES on the 8 Unorenko. Why am I using that chart? Because that's what my strategy is looking at. There's the news report. There's the news report. Let's see, it's testing our opening range. That's the catalyst event we are waiting on. That's the ISM Services PMI. Let's see if it breaks our opening range. Here we go. Let's get a clean break. We got 4 blue high volume candles in a row. And then the bears turned it around with 2 high volume candles. There's a lot of buyers and sellers right there at that area of resistance. Between the 50 and resistance. Here we go. Let's see if it breaks it. Now, this could be a leapfrog entry for me. And when I would time out the entry, if it breaks, I would enable my copier on the leapfrog because it's breaking out of that range. Bam. There it is. There's the break. Now, let's see if it pops through. It was a little early. That's a stop sweep. It appears as if it's going to break the pivot, but it didn't cleanly break it. My NQ20, same thing. It's pushing. It's trying to break through that upside resistance. They pushed the price right back down. The stops, the ATM strategy, Tony, is coming from the strategy parameters. I'm not taking a discretionary trade. If it was a discretionary trade, then I would have to make an ATM strategy and define my stop and profit target. But that's not what this is. Here comes the Mack truck short. Didn't take it. Let's see if the ES breaks the VWAP again. The Austin Moneymakers in short. So we're right at the VWAP. We're bouncing off the VWAP and rolling off upside resistance. We've got the crude inventory report at 10:30. There's the 150 range. That bot's been doing really well lately. We're trying to wake up our RJ. Our RJ's been sleeping on us. We're trying to figure out what's going on with that. Had a lot of success with that 150 range time data series. That Revo on the 150 is up 1940, trading one contract. We bounced right off the VWAP. It looks like we're going to go up and test resistance again. Okay, we're going to retest our area of resistance. This is our opening range. We want to break out of the opening range with an agreement of trend on our higher time frame. Our 15 is above the 50. They're both green. Now we need a clean break of resistance. Once I get that clean break, I would look for an entry on my leapfrog by enabling my trade copier at that moment. Until it breaks through, I'm not going to enable anything. I don't want to get in. I want to get in when it's soaring up. Like right now, if I was looking for an entry, is when I would enable it. Let's see if it gets in on the leapfrog. This is that opening range breakout trade. Nice blue candle. Hammer. A bullish hammer. Here we go. Our 20U. If this is an up close, this should fire off a long entry. Nope. Maybe. Nope. The long entry's coming if it keeps pushing up. Here it comes. We got a great day of trading ahead. Mark Miller, it is Miller time, coming up right behind me. I'm going to start doing a much better job of quantifying my entries. We're going to lay out the rules and guidelines of when and why I enable my copier. These prop firms, they don't want you to set it and forget it with an automated strategy. If you're going to use a strategy within NinjaTrader, they want it to be semi-automated. They want you in front of it making the decisions and managing your automation. And that's exactly what we're doing here. Can the system be traded in full automation? Yes. But because I'm trading prop accounts, that's not the style of trading that I'm showing. We have a lot of members that are just trading our ES bots on full automation on live accounts and doing quite well. Hey, Mike. Well, there's a proper way to use strategies. They refer to it as semi-automated. I would practice, Tony. That's a good point. Tony says that he would need to practice dragging the stop. And that, what I would do is I would set up an ATM strategy and put your account on sim and execute a few trades and practice dragging your stop. There's a little bit of an art to it. It's one click and you drag it, and then one click again drops it. One click on the stop is drag it, and then click again to drop it. Here we go. Here comes another breakout. Trying to get through this area of resistance. Let's see what our ES is doing on the 8U. Those arrows are now, these confluence signals are just kicking in. So with a break of resistance, this is giving us the signal. If we put this on the ES scalper, we're in the long trade. But what we're going to do is we wanted to get in. I'm going to take my, what I'll do is I'll change this one. The retirement plan crushed it today. Retirement plan. See, this is setting up nicely for our trade, but we needed to break resistance. So let's put this on the ES scalper. And I'm going to make my follower account my Sim 101 account just to show it. Well, you know what? I think I have 2 more evals. We didn't get the follow through. We needed to push through resistance. Let's see if we get the break. So the steps are, I'm going to enable my copier now while it's still in the trade. Okay. I would turn it off. Turn it on. And I'm waiting. I'm waiting for it to break resistance. If it breaks resistance, I'm going to grab my stop. I click on it one time, and now I can drag it. I can put it anywhere I want. And when I re-click it, if I click again, it's going to drop it. So I've clicked on it once, and I can drag it anywhere I want it. And it's not going to let go until it's not going to come off my cursor until I click again. Now, if I click again, now I dropped it. So I'm going to wait for it to break through. And then I'm going to drag it up. I need this break. Yeah, there are bots that go full auto, of course. What they indicate is a confluence of indicators that are lined up, aligned, multiple indicators. I could show you in the cross indicator what it's looking at. Here we go. Let's see if the NQ breaks. If the NQ breaks, that indicator is called our cross indicator. If you look at Masterclass Module 2, in the training videos channel, it'll show you exactly what that cross indicator does. Let's see if we get the break. Let's give it a try. Now, it just got stopped out. And now if it takes one more push to the upside, it's going to put me back in long. Bam. Now I'm back in long. And I'm just looking to get to my $200 or $250 profit goal. If it takes $250 in heat, I'm going to exit the trade. I only want to risk $250 on this entry. We need that NQ to break. That's good enough. So I put 162 or 175. I didn't mean to close the actual bot. What that'll do is disable the strategy. But that's exactly, let me re-enable it. It'll jump back in. But that's exactly the trade. Oh, wait. That's exactly the trade that I was showing. So now just using that little scalping, that ES scalper, following the crosses, I'm able to put across all of my Apex accounts a couple $100 for the day. No muss, no fuss. Very simple and easy. Now across all of the accounts, I've got a nice green day, and the trade is still going up. I cut it short. We had a beautiful entry. And all we did was follow those crosses, breaking through our breakout range, our opening range breakout is all we did on that. And I think that's a really viable way to monetize this system on a consistent basis. So today we did the rules on the ES scalper. Look at this. Had I stayed in this trade, we would have had a monster. You missed getting back in on the ES scalper. The way we got back in on it was we enable it prior to us squeezing the existing entry. We enabled our copier. We squeezed our stop to smother the open trade. Once it got smothered, as the trade matured back into the trend, it fired off another automated entry, and our copier was turned on. Right? So we're just using our tools to work together for the good. To answer your question, Tom, real quick, it's my session will be over soon, but let me go to this cross indicator. If I go to my indicators, on the cross indicator, look at the parameters, Tom, of the cross indicator. Does that look familiar to you? Signal A, signal B, signal C, and signal D. What is that? Those are the parameters of our automated strategy, okay? This indicator has the same parameters as our automated strategy. The main difference is when all of the conditions are met, the indicator fires off a cross, where if your strategy is enabled with those same conditions, it's going to fire off a trade, right? And the cross and the trade will be exactly the same. So on this particular entry, it's a signal B. The signal B entry is when my Laguerre momentum is locked to the long side. Okay, here's the confluence of indicators, Tom. My Laguerre is locked. I have my 1550 signal. My 15 is crossed and my 15 is above the 50. My 50 signal. My 50 is green and I'm going long only on a green 50. This is where my software is defining risk as being at its lowest. These are the conditions that must be present on my chart technically in order for this cross to fire off. So when we see it visually on our chart, we know, hey, the software is defining this as a great place to take an entry. So how can I use my automation and my trade copier to get me to my profit goal each day? So that cross indicator, and we go into depth with it on that masterclass module 2. This cross indicator, let me tell you something, it's much better than a strategy analyzer back test. It's much better. The back test on a strategy analyzer, I mean, if you see the results, you'll think you'll be, Hugh Hefner. You think you'll be, rich, that you're going to be a millionaire because it wins every trade. But this, you could change the conditions of the entry and go back on your chart and see where all your crosses are. And if you find one that only the crosses come in and they signal winning trades, and more importantly, they filter out losing trades, then what you could do is copy these parameters and put them in your strategy. And then you can automate it. And it'll be fully automated, right? You'd be Elon Musk, exactly. So I'll tell you, especially when you see these blue bars kick in. When you see these blue bars kick in, that's additional confirmation that institutional money is influencing that ticker. It's driving the price higher and higher with those blue candles. If I wasn't such a chicken, this would have been a massive winner on that breakout trade. And this is one of the 3 moves that old Eric was telling me about yesterday. He says, you're going to get 3 moves a day. Listen, that breakout, that opening range breakout on the E-mini was an absolute beauty. Worked on the NQ too. Don't get me wrong. Look what it did on the NQ. It broke that range and it took off. It went to the moon. That's the opening range breakout move. Broke out of our opening range and gave us a tremendous winner. Hey, Gerald, good morning. All right. Awesome. Sorry to hear about the PA account. All right. Great. That's, man, I tell you, Charles is incredible. He's worth his weight in gold. When it comes to tech support, there's nobody like him. He's meticulous. That's why I said, whatever it costs, I'm paying for it. I got to get your computer. I got to get this thing fixed for you. If you would, please, if you like today's session, please like my video here on YouTube. And we're going to do this more. In fact, every one of my sessions until everybody knows the rules of the entries. And it's good for me to say it because then I will adhere to my own rules, right? But those are the trades that we're looking for. We're looking for the E-mini, those crosses on that ES8U template. I'm going to put my template. I'm going to try to automate it. I'm going to play around with automating it. But this opening range breakout on the NASDAQ, look what it did. If we had the patience and discipline to wait for it, the retirement plan crushed it right out of the box. But had we waited for this opening range breakout on the NASDAQ, we would have had a monster still going up. Look at this. I was in this trade. I closed it like a dummy. Today's leaderboard. The ES star, numero uno, the ES30 range. Thank you, Robert. Robert is the man. Gave us this beautiful 30 range strategy. It's just the gift that keeps giving. NASDAQ 150 range. We got to credit RJ with that one. The Revo on the NQ30. So our Revos in the top three, 2 out of the top 3 are Revo strategies. You know what this Sim 101 is? This Sim 101 is the ES one-day pass trading one contract. It's the ES one-day pass trading one contract. Retirement plan crushed it. I always keep an eye on my NQ20 Unorenkos. Always. Revo on the ES. The NASDAQ. This is the one contract, one-day pass on the NASDAQ. Up $700 today. Retirement plan on the micros is up 600. And across all my Apex accounts, I'm up about anywhere from $150 to $200. Make sure everything's disabled. It is. Very common mistake with trade copiers is leaving them enabled. Be really careful when you're done. Once you reach your profit goal, disable your strategies. Excuse me, don't disable your strategies. Disable your trade copier. Excuse me, slip of the tongue. It's best to let your bots continue to run in sim so they continue to collect data. How do you know, Mike? Thank you. I appreciate the kind words. Actually, it was one of our members sent us an email yesterday, and it hit home. And Mark and I this morning, we kind of had to own it and think of how we could be more valuable to our community during these sessions. Hope everybody has a great rest of your day. I'm going to be signing off here in just a minute. If you would, please like my video here on YouTube. You haven't watched the module? Well, now that this is all, this has been kind of a refresher. So, interestingly enough, we have a bot that's in the red, $1,400. Okay. But it put in our Apex accounts over $1,000 in profits, right? So we turned a lemon into lemonade. With that ES scalper, got us a couple of beautiful entries today. The second one, much better than the first. That breakout, the opening range breakout with those blue high volume candles. Beauties. The Revo, let's see if it takes another one. Hey, Suzanne. Good morning. You're welcome. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks for joining us. Let me find out if, give me a second. All right. Hey, Mark, it's Miller time.
All right, Rory, what's happening?
Good morning. Not too much. Really nice day. Caught some beauties on these cross trades.
Yeah, finally our day, huh?
Yeah. It's very nice.
Woo. High five, man. Good job.
All right.
Boom,
Thank you.
shakalaka.
Have a great session. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Let me share the screen here and we'll
sure. I'll remove
try
mine.
to show what's going on over here.
Have a great day, sir.
Okay, you too, Rory. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job trading. Way to get structure and discipline, brother.
Thank you, sir. Thank
you. All right, welcome everybody. Appreciate you joining us today. All right, we got the market going in our direction today. Woo. What a relief, huh? I'm in this trade right here. I've got the ES scalper I'm running. It's in a long trade. Might stop me out here in a few seconds. The account's about break even for the day. Doing a little bit of a retracement here. Man, we had a heck of a move up, didn't we? How about that? High five, everybody. Hey, Mike, what's happening? Boom, shakalaka. Let's go. Finally. Got some real movement in our direction today. All right, Rory did a great job, huh? That was awesome. So yeah, we talked about it. We had an email that came through that Robert sent in, and he said he was having a hard time following us on YouTube. And you know, he and I thought about it quite a bit, and sure enough, you know, we're like a squirrel in the road a little bit. So we're going to try to settle down and come up with some structure and discipline to trade these accounts so that it's easier to follow. You know, because ultimately that's my goal, is to create automation so that like nobody has to do anything, right? We all just you know, watch the thing and critique it and talk about it. But so that's my goal. My goal is to try to create value, right? I don't give a rip about being online or doing any of this. I would rather do something else, but I want to create value, right? And try to show our software in the best way we possibly can. So, you know, thinking about that, we decided to settle in on a couple of strategies. For me, it's the ES scalper and, you know, either the retirement plan or the Mac truck. Those are both our 20 Unarenko NQ strategies. And both of them are doing pretty good today. The Mac truck's up 710 on this machine. My other machine, it's up 1200. And the retirement plan on the other machine is up 863. And this machine, it's about break even. We're at 126. So those are my 3 strategies that I'm going to focus on, and live or die by them. They're profitable strategies over time, all in auto. I'm not messing with the numbers at all. They're fully auto, and over the long term, they make money. Now, the way I've been trading them, I get in and out so often that it doesn't, it's hard to stay consistent. So we'll just try to let them run today. Today, I've got the Mac truck loaded up, so the Mac truck will be trading this take profit trader account and the ES scalper. So I've got those 2 loaded up, and we'll see how they do. Oh boy, Mike, we got all kinds of stuff going on today, don't we? Oh boy. I'm gonna be going through that Strait of Hormuz. Woo! Come on, let's go. Take them motherfuckers on. Them psycho crazy bastards. Let's go. Make the hair stand up on the back of my neck, Mike. Thank you. Get me all pumped up. All right, let's go. Let's just sit back and relax. Oh wow! Congratulations, Mike. That's a huge accomplishment. Okay, we got a bit of a retracement going on here. Hopefully, we can make another move coming up here soon. Like I said, I got the Mac truck dialed in. So this strategy right here, this one, let me get the indicator up here properly for this one. This one's the signal C indicator. It's this one right here, RLMPI signal C. I'm just going to bring it up on the bottom. I'm going to get rid of that Laguerre because that's not the indicator for this one. So this is now my indicator that gives me the entry signal. And there's a confluence of other indicators that have to happen in order for this to trigger an entry. But the main thing that has to happen is this yellow line has to pass through this blue line. So every time that yellow line passes through that blue line, that's an entry. Now, if the other conditions aren't met, it won't take the entry. But right now we're coming up right here. It's at 37. If it would be able to go up and pass through this blue line, we are off to the races. To the moon we go together. And the reason that will take that entry is because our 50, this is our 50 moving average line here, this green one. And as long as that's green and this is now pushing up through the blue, that would be the entry. If price continues to fall, though, we just stick out on the sidelines. Bench warmer. Mike, ask for help, man. That's what we do. I have to ask for help. I have to have Sergio baby me. I don't care. That's part of the game. That's what you paid for. That's what we're here for, man. That's what we do. That's one of the value propositions that you get when you join Right Line Trading. Not saying that you won't get it at other places, but we do have it. We do have it, and we appreciate that our community joins us. In fact, Suzanne, thank you. Suzanne's a great member, very helpful in Discord. Suzanne, we wanted to give you a couple of things. So we're working on this this new software, and we want you to be one of our beta testers. So we'll get you set up with that, and Robert too. Robert, you've been very helpful over the years. So got certain loyal members that we want to have help us continue to make this better and better for everybody. Looking like a nice bounce here coming up. So right now I'm trading the MES scalper. That's right here. That'll be 5 contracts on the MES, 5 contracts on the MES. What I did is I just copied the ES scalper and just changed the instrument to the MES, and I put 5 contracts. It reduces the risk by half. No, Suzanne, thank you. Thank you. You're really awesome. We appreciate you. So yeah, we'll see if we can make that price move up here for us. Come on, someone buy some contracts for us. What a relief, huh, everybody, to see that price move up in the stock market today. Man, a rough ride last couple of days. So on the NQ, I'm looking at a 20 Unarenko. Let me show you guys what that is. This is always complicated. So I put the full numbers. So it's 20, 60, 100. That's the way I have the 20 Unarenko candle. If you wanted to kind of create these candles, you can go into configure right here. And down here, Unarenko, you can add one, you can edit them, or you can remove them. We'll pretend we're going to add one. So if we wanted to do the 20, 40, 60, we would just put 20, 40. Oops, sorry. It's 20, 60, 100. So that would build this this candle right here. So that's the one that that we use on the Mack truck and the retirement plan. That's this candle right here. Over here on the left, I'm looking at the 1 minute Hikinachi candle. When you change it to the 5 minute, it gives you a different look. So this is now a 5 minute Hikinachi. On the ES. So each time frame will take out a little bit of noise. You know, the higher the time frame, the less knee-jerk reaction, I guess you could say. So Tom, let me try to, you know what, Tom, I'm not going to make it up. I don't know. I have an idea, but I don't know exactly. I don't know the answer. He's asking what those numbers represent. So the reversal and then the offset. So its tick trend is 20. So that means every 20 ticks, it's going to print a new candle. So as long as the ticks go in your direction for 20 ticks, it will print a new candle. The other number, the R, stands for O is open offset, R is reversal. So R is reversal. So the 100 for the reversal means that you have to have 100 ticks go in the opposite direction. And then 60 is what they call the open offset. And that's the one I don't know exactly what it is. If anybody else knows, maybe you can help share that with Tom. Yeah, Mike, the question that you asked was for the cross indicator. It does. It waits for all those. They call it a confluence of. Yeah, it's really several events line up, and all the indicators line up in a alignment. Once those all align, the cross will project into the chart. So it's really brilliant what Sergio did for us because it gave us the insight into seeing if that would have been a good entry or not. And then we can actually build strategies around it by messing with that cross indicator. If someone becomes really good with the cross indicator, they can, I call it reverse engineer success. You can start to build those crosses into your chart and start to see where the entries would be taking place. And then you can really start to nail these indicators down pat. All right, we're setting up nicely here for the old Mack truck. So what we have to have for this Mack truck is I have to have price come up. This 50 moving average line right here has to be green, though, to take this entry if it does go long. Tom, this is fully automated, so you don't. When I mess with stuff, nobody has to mess with anything. Tom, the funniest thing that I ever found. So again, I bought this company. I did not create this software. Okay, I have been over the last 3 years, but I didn't create it before that. We have software developers who do this stuff for us, but your question is, do I need to make changes or whatever? No, no. The funniest thing I ever found out is I thought the charts mattered. I was like, oh, Sergio, this chart, it doesn't match the strategy. Like he told me, he said, Mark, you don't need a chart. I said, what? He said, yeah, man, this thing will trade automatically no matter what. No chart, no anything. I said, are you kidding me? He says, yeah, they're not even connected to a chart. It totally blew my mind. So the chart is just there for our, I don't know, there's this term. Anyway, I'm not gonna say it. It's there just for us to recognize where it would have entered and all that kind of stuff, and to actually set the strategy up. The chart is really important. But yeah, the charts are they're just extra. They don't do anything. All right, we jumped in that Mack truck here. We caught a small one. The Mack truck jumped in, not enough movement. Okay, we're in the MES scalper too. We had them both jump in about the same time. So we're in on the MES scalper over on the left. Trade into this account right here, this take profit trader account. Down 200 again. Come on, don't trick me. Don't trick me today. I've got the sell signals over here on the left doing a na-na-na-na-na to me. Na-na-na-na-na, we told you. That's the way it goes. And we might be able to catch another Mack truck here if we start to get price moving in the positive direction again. Yeah, Mike, I don't know if there's any, there's life's complicated, right? If anybody had like the super strategy, they probably, I wouldn't be doing this. I wouldn't be selling software. I gotta be honest with you. If I had one that was making millions of dollars, I wouldn't be selling it. I think anybody who tell you different, they're liars. You take a trade with the probabilities, right? It's all about probabilities, but it's not guarantees. No guarantees. I wish there was. So, what we do though have, Mike, and you have it too, we have the trade performance data. So we can go back and look over the last 2 months, 3 months, whatever, 6 months, and you can see which ones have a chance. The best way, after a clean install is go into your accounts tab right click on it, go to properties, go right here to this cash value. So when we load all the strategies onto your computer, all right, we jumped in again. All right, we're going long on the Mac truck again, and we're still long on the MES. We're looking good here. We're going to try to make a little money, have a little fun today. Add this little checkbox right here, Mike, and then slim down all these other things. All this stuff that comes in is all waste. But if you look at this cash value, hit apply. So there's no, I'll just call it, I always say BS. There's no BS around this thing. Now, we have a cyber stalker who will say, "Oh, yeah, you can go into your yeah," and we did. We created this really awesome tool, and you can go in there and you can add cash to it, and you can do all kinds of games. Okay, I don't personally play games. Just I want to be transparent. That was my goal to buy this company because I knew trading was such a shady business. I'm not shady. I'm just not. I never have been. So what this does is it tells you, now look at this one, it's getting whooped today, but it's still up 3,000 from the day I loaded it. Okay. So this is how much it's up from the day I loaded these strategies. Now I've reset and done a bunch of things. So, Sergio had to rebuild my whole machine about, I think I've got 4 to 6 weeks of data now. So for about 4 to 6 weeks, this is how much they've either won or lost, right? Some of these are getting crushed down here. Like Rory shows you though, they don't need to be like profitable long term to make money in a day. We really don't. So that's one way, Mike, that you can just easily see how things are doing. I think our cyber stalker just jumped in. It looks like. And it's not Rory. I'll tell you that. Here we go. So that's kind of the way the thing rolls, Mike, from my point of view. All right, Mack Trucks doing well. It's up $600. So this is my Mack Truck strategy, and I'm also in this MES scalper. Scalper going long. Got a $50 trade. Mike, thanks for hanging out with us. Good luck on the other YouTube channel. Take our cyber stalker with you. Hey, thank you for everybody who put the thumbs up on our channel. We appreciate that very much. Okay. All right. Now we got the leapfrog on the right-hand strategy. This is the Mack truck. Old leapfrog technology. Here it goes. She's a jumping and a hopping. It's $1,000 trade now. And stopped out. Mack truck's up 1,700. Oops. Accounts. Here we go. Mack truck up 1625 with commissions out. So what this shows right here in this control center with commissions out of it. Up here in this display, it shows no commission. So if you didn't have to pay to trade, it would have been 1,700. Because we had to pay to take each trade, we're up 1625. These are the easy days. Everybody should be a trader today. These are rare, especially after getting whipped around the last couple of days. Man, whew, I got slapped around yesterday big time. I took a couple on the chin. Running the MES scalper. Thanks, Mike. Have a great day. So the Mack truck takes advantage of the price movement rate up and down in the stochastic oscillator down here. And once it's pinned above the upside here, it kind of sits idle for a while until it pops back down and then back up. So it's not one of those aggressive strategies. It will take a while for another trade. In fact, we can look at the chart and see where all the trades were throughout the day. So this is a 20 Unorenko chart. And these are all the trades that it took. Look at that gap up. So I'm here at the condo at the beach, Miami Beach, and lost power last night. So I think that's why this looks like a big gap here. But maybe it did gap up. I don't know. But anyway, we mark the chart every time it takes an entry and an exit. And these are all of its trades today. The best one looks like maybe right in here. And we got the ES scalper here. Just clicking away on my take profit trader account. ES scalper. Let me try to brainwash you guys. Well, that little video was playing. It looked like my stop flew up for the ES scalper. The ES scalper, it's the way we set this strategy up, we have a 60 tick stop on the ES. And once it gets up above 60 ticks in the profit direction, we have our stop fly up to a 30 tick profit for us. So it locks in some profits. And we locked down a little bit of cash flow today. Now we're in cruise control. So sometimes, the strategies may not take the exact same entries. Depends on how, turn them on, off, them kind of things. But if all the conditions are set up on the chart for you, it should take that entry. Okay, so we got $140 in the take profit trader account there. And we're getting a little bit of a pullback now. And we'll catch this this next entry right here on the right. Let's go ahead and take that full contract. Let's live dangerous here a little bit. We're going to take this off. We like the way the market's moving today. So I'm going to take the full contract on the next Mack truck if it does drop down. So we're down below. This is a beauty. So right here, if we jump back up, if this candle closes, we're in the big dog. We got the big dog eating. Here we go. Come on, big dog. We got the big dog in here trying to eat. We got $100 trade now. Here's one. Here we got $100 and we're flopping around. $100, $150. Here we go. Two. Come on now. And we got a $200 trade. We got a blue candle. Those are beautiful blue candles. Oh, blue. All the chips are on the table. Come on, Mack truck. I grew up on a farm, and we used to have Mack trucks all over the place, man. We used to have to work on those trucks all over the place. We had a big farm and, several tractors and trucks, and we had several Mack trucks. You beat the heck out of them. They could work their asses off, I'll tell you. Did a lot of welding and beating the heck out of them. Keep them up and running. The old Mack truck. Come on, baby. Used to have huge cornfields and run those Mack trucks in and out of the cornfield. Taking silage back home. Uh-oh. We got a $140 loser. Come on, baby. Don't break the bank here. All right, it's going against me. Down 200. Down 100. Down 2. Down 200. Down 250. Okay, yellow candle, not good. That's a high volume candle going south. All right, down 4. Took a yellow candle on the MES as well. Looks like I bought into a little bit of weakness here. Oh, we got the 1111 coming up. Everybody, we're going to have to make a big wish here. Come on, baby. One more minute. Hold on, one more. Uh-oh, down 5, down 4. $4.20. All right, 1111. Good luck, everybody. Here we go. Time to make a wish. I wish it bounces off this 50. This is the 50 period moving average. Getting right down here where price has been at. Uh-oh. My ES scalper just took a signal A going short. A little bit of conflicting positions now. Oh, I got smoked on that one. Sheesh. Bad one to take the big one on it. I'm in on the left. All right, I got a $200 trade almost over here on the left on the MES, running 5 contracts. Gotta make up a little ground here. Boy, Rory did a great job today. We got that email from Robert, and he said he was having a hard time following us, and we took it to heart. That's not what we're here for. We're here to try to help, not make it hard. So I'm running the MES scalper. What I did is I just took our ES scalper, changed the instrument, and added 5 contracts. The stop will move automatically if we get down to 60 ticks. So we're looking at a 5-minute candle over here on the left. Let's go down to the 1-minute Hikinachi. So now we're looking at a 1-minute candle. So Tom, I think you were asking earlier, and maybe it wasn't Tom, maybe it was somebody else, but you can grab these stops and targets and move them around so that you don't get yourself in a a trade that you don't want to. If you start to see price move like we are now, and especially as good as it's been moving in the north direction today, these pullbacks are really just filling in the gaps so that it can climb higher. In fact, our Mack truck's going to go ahead and take that trade again, I think. Doesn't really seem like we have enough price action to really drive the price home to the upside, does it? Starting to get back to equilibrium here. Caught a nice move up this morning. Nice move. Look at that beauty. Looking at a 20 Unarenko chart on the NQ. So we were down around 830 this morning. 24,830. And we've moved up about 200 points. 250. Looking for another ES scalper entry here, going short. All right, if you're new joining us, I'm Mark Miller from Right Line Trading, and we develop software here on NinjaTrader 8 platform. And we develop these strategies here, these automated strategies, and we keep them jailbroke for you. So if you want to go into the back end of the strategy, you can go in there and mess around. We've got a lot of settings that are available for you. We have pre-configured templates, but these pre-configured templates you can tweak. And we've developed a lot of software inside of here for trade management, for example. Our leapfrog technology that we see once in a while, that's right in here. Our profit target window. All kinds of action that moves the stops up and down and all kinds of stuff right through here. And then when you talk about your pocketbook, here's where the money's at. So how much money you want to either, risk during the day or lose during the day, or your profit target for the day, your session profit limit. So you have the option to set all those to whatever suits your fancy here. And a whole lot of settings for you to mess with. And like I mentioned yesterday, we had Robert out there. I don't know if you're here again today, Robert. Thank you. Robert, as a appreciation, our loyalty, we want to give you our new software, the beta test that we're working on. Sergio should, I talked about this before. I used to be a programmer myself, so I always know that it always takes longer than we expect, but he's hoping to have it on my system today. If I do get it and I run it for a couple days, we'll be sending it over to our loyal members, Suzanne, Robert, Charles, a few people who give us value, and we got to give it back. It's the way it works. So we're hoping to have that here in a couple of days. Setting up for another Mack truck entry if it can get enough upward momentum here. Right here on this candle. Going into it really weak though. Think price found a home down here, didn't it? Doesn't seem to want to move too much now. Take a look at the other indexes. So NVIDIA's up a little, about 1%. It's running 182 again. Here we are, we're running the E-mini. NASDAQ 100 futures. This is us right here. We're on the big board. And this is the other one. The S&P 500 E-mini. See that little bit of a pullback going on right now. All right, Rue, where are you at, Rue? Rue's gold. We're running 51.55. It had a little pullback there. It got down almost to 50,000, 5,000 here, almost 5,000. It bounced off it. Wow, this Revo 30 range has been running up the score right here in front of me. It's at 1,300 here. All right, here we go. We might get the Mack truck entry after all. If this candle closes above this little red line and it turns it green, we're off to the races one more time. Do we think we got enough momentum to take the big contract here? Oof. Better sit on my hands with that one. That big contract's reserved for the 9:30 to 10:30 window. That's when the price really moves. So it must have been a little bit of a yellow or red 50 at the time. It wasn't set up perfectly for it, so it didn't take the entry. So if I look at the Hikinachi on the NQ, go to the 5-minute. Hikinachi on the 5-minute. Go down to the 1-minute on the NQ. Those are the new signals that'll be coming here real soon. Fully automated signals coming off these Hikinachi bars. It'll take us a couple weeks to get it dialed in to enter and exit properly, but I'm optimistic always. Always. I live in optimistic land though. Always think things will be better than they are. They look pretty good though. They look juicy. Just like everything though, it's a buy signal here and it came down, right? Not a winner. Nothing's ever a winner. Always. It's nice looking here. One thing that we'll do is we'll measure these and make sure that we try to set them up properly. But yeah, I was talking to Sergio. We're going to enter on the same bar, so we're not going to necessarily wait till the candle closes, but we can. But let's say if the candle closes, we need to prepare for 43 ticks of heat. So we got to be able to take 43 ticks on the chin before we finally move in our direction. So that's the risk. We need at least 45 to be clear and stay in that trade. Now here, if we took this one, we would need quite a few ticks of heat. We would need 90. So our ES star could handle that one. Our ES star could handle that one. This ruler is really, really important for trading. Gives you great insight. And I look right here for this Y value. That's how many ticks. Everything's in ticks on futures. So it's each tick. Each tick on this ES is $12.50. Ooh. Each tick on the MES is $1.25. So either $12.50 or $1.25 per tick. And then over here on the NQ is $5 a tick or 50 cents. So if we would have taken the sucker move right there at the top, we would have needed 400 ticks to make a winning trade out of that guy. That ain't happening. We have no strategies with 400 ticks of risk. But let's say if we took some of these down here right after the sells. $68 ticks. So we have several of them that can handle that. So 68 ticks there on the first one coming out of the gate. And man, that gives you a huge opportunity, you know, and people do this all the time. Oh, look at 1,000 ticks in your direction. Yeah, okay, you stick it out. I dare you. We'll see if you can hang in there that long. But it made it 1,000 ticks in your direction eventually. I've got David Wise coming up here to do some options trading for us in a few minutes. Hopefully he drops in here and gives us some bombshells. Oh, David's got his ear to the ground. I think he's part Indian. I truly do. I think he's part Indian. And he can hear it coming. He sends those signals out all day long. I'll tell you what, if you can sit there in his room, you can capitalize. He has these new trades called UMCAT, out of money catalyst trades. Him and Savvy have been doing it, and Savvy was going to do online, but he just he got into too much stuff to juggle at a time. But those guys, they call those UMCAT trades, and their record is really truly unbelievable. In fact, I called BS on them at first. I was like, no, you can't do that. You can't say that. We got to make sure that this is legit before we market it. And man, I proved that it was legit. But anyways, he'll show you. He'll show you. We don't, as I always say, we don't BS too much. I mean, that's not our goal. Our goal is to try to provide value. And he'll show you. If he doesn't, call an UMCAT during the broadcast. So David has over 300 people that typically, over 300 who have paid for his text messaging service that we send it out to, over 330 actually, that we send the messages to every day. So it's not just a little game. It's a real serious business. And the results, if we didn't have those results, we wouldn't have 330 people asking for those trades every day. So congratulations, David. Really appreciate all he does for us here in the community. Okay, we're in the MES trade again. MES going long. Oh, we got a $50 trade now. Take profit trader. I just sit back and it does it for me. It does the heavy lifting here for me. And if you're a patient trader, this MES is really the way to go. It's killing me here today not to go crazy on this NQ. It's killing me. But it doesn't do us any good as a community. So I need to take it serious. When I'm offline, I can do all the crazy stuff I want. But when I'm online, I have to be structured and have discipline so that you can follow what we're doing here. Got the retirement plan coming up the leaderboard. Old retirement plan coming back. Another nice trade on the retirement plan. Here goes the retirement plan. What a great name for a strategy, huh? When I named this one, I was like, yes, this is the one I'm going to take into my retirement. Okay, it's about a break-even strategy today. I'm in this right here with my Take Profit Trader account. Got the account. It's about break even right now. We're running 5 contracts on the MES. So it's $6.25 a tick. No. 5 times 125. Ooh. Yeah, $6.25. Yeah. $6.25 a tick. So it still adds up pretty quick here. And we got a $50 bill coming back on me, breaking even. Nice to see the market working in our direction today. It's been a dang trying to hold on the last couple of days. My 401k is taking a beating. Anybody else's? We'll get it back though. I was watching CNBC. I watch it every day. But anyway, yesterday there was a guy on, and they always say all these sayings, so who knows what's really true or false. But anyways, he said that the 10 biggest days, if you would have missed the 10 biggest days over the last, I think he said 10 years, you would have lost 55% of the gains in the stock market. So what it tells you is just sit tight through all those downturns. Man, if you're a seller, you are a loser, basically. It's so easy to panic sell. It's the numero uno thing that makes people lose money. Panic, and that's the one that does it. And we're up $60 now. MES scalper. Our system is semi-automated. It's fully automated, but you can also grab the stops and targets and move them around. You can even close them and have I'll call it a naked trade there. One cool feature is that you can right mouse click and go to this little arrow over here, and you can attach the indicator. And there's a couple of options here. You can do it to your fast line, to your slow line, to other indicators. I like maybe attaching it to the slow line. And then you can put, if you want to have it move off the slow line a certain amount of ticks or under it, I'll just go right on the slow line so you can see it. So now it attached itself right to that slow, that was quick, attached itself to that slow line, and that's where it sold at. On a nice trending market though, that's a really good place to put it, as long as it stays, above your slow line. So maybe if it would have done it right here, it would have followed it up and then sold up in here somewhere. Okay, we're in a Mack truck. I didn't even notice it. Oh, we're in a Mack truck trade here. We got the Mack truck going long. And we got the Mack truck. Stop moved up to plus a little bit. I think it's a $50 winner on the regular contract, $5 winner on the micro. Not getting enough follow through right now. Getting weak. Best trading times are 9 to 10:30. 9 to 10:30 is when most of the action happens. Tell you what, I'm going to slip away here. Hopefully David Wise pops in here in a few seconds. We'll grab a drink of water. Be right back. All right, we got David Wise here coming into the mix. Let's see if we can catch a couple options trades.
Try it. Not a good market for trading right now.
It's a perfect market now, isn't it, David?
No.
What?
It's moving up pretty strongly, but it's top. Everything's topping out right here now.
Yeah. We're maxed out. It looks like everything's extended, fully extended right now.
The SPY and Qs are right at the daily resistance levels right now.
Yep.
So I'm just
it's a tightrope.
Yeah. So I'm just kind of watching. My wife's getting ready to. Her and a girlfriend are leaving right in a few minutes here to go to Lisbon, Portugal, for a couple of weeks. So.
Oh wow.
Running around trying to get everything. See her off.
How fun. Portugal, huh?
Yeah, Lisbon. Yeah.
Wow. Rarely hear anybody going there.
What's that?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, rarely hear anybody going to Portugal. That's a unique place to go to.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a lot of expats over there, Americans or citizens over there.
Okay, neat. All right, David, I'll remove my screen. You can.
Thank you so much.
All right, have a great day.
How was the futures trading this morning?
It was great. Best day all week. Oh yeah, finally.
Nice,
man.
Yeah, market made a pretty big run up here. So
yeah, just the volatility though. Yesterday, we were getting whipped around like a rag doll.
It was crazy, man.
My head's still spinning.
Yeah. All right, you have a good afternoon.
Thank you, David. You do the same. Bye now.
Thanks, Mark. Bye-bye.
Yep.
All right, got the YouTube up and going. Good morning, YouTubers. This is Dave with the SPY Super Systems trading room here, and I'll be on here in just a second. All right, so just kind of watching here. SPY is still kind of grinding up. It's really at some heavy resistance right now. SPY right at the 15 EMA on the daily chart. Triple Qs are running pretty strong here. They're still moving up. They don't have any resistance now until 613.18. 613.18. So it's got about a buck and a half to the upside on the Qs. The SPY is pretty wedged in here. The SPY is up about 9/10%, and the triple Qs are up 1.6%. They're up quite a bit more than the SPY. So watch this LYB, which I took, and I'm probably going to try to take it off. I don't like it's got some resistance above that I didn't see. Okay, back. My wife is headed out to the airport to go to Lisbon for a couple of weeks. So it's just me and my dog and my charts. All right, see if we have any questions here. I haven't really done anything. I did take some LYB, but I'm going to take it off as soon as I break even or make a dime or something on it. Too many support resistance levels up just above that I didn't see. HTO still moving, Roger. Thank you. Yeah, I saw that one. Yep, still moving up. Kind of flattened out here right now. Made some nice moves though. Up about 2% today. SPY trying to get back up to the high of the day. Q is also really pretty flat market here right now. Cocaine and hookers. Oh boy. Still gotta look around. I haven't come across anything I want to trade. Oh, 7 minutes at 12 here right now. James, it sounds like a good life. A man, his dog, and his charts. Yeah. But you know, I'll be happy when my wife gets back. Definitely the charts are anything worth looking at. You're right about that, Sarang. This is again, this market is just you know, you keep looking at that SPY daily chart and you just all you can do is just shake your head. I mean, here we go again, right? Looked like a breakdown yesterday. Maybe we're going to get some bearish price action that we could ride down on. Oh nope, right back again yesterday afternoon. Ran right back up to the 100, fell below it, and then gapped up above it this morning, heading right back up to the 50 again. It's just a mess. This SPY trading is just a mess. Look at the tails and wicks on these things. I mean, this is not normal. This is normally what you see in the SPY. You see a trend up or a trend down. You don't usually see this kind of nonsense. This is crazy. Makes it really, really difficult to try to trade any kind of swings. You got to focus on intraday trades. I am right now. We picked off a couple of decent swings, but PG's gone against us. That was a consumer defensive stock that, you know, under normal circumstances you think would do decently in when the market was weak like this, but it's not. TRI was a good one. That was a nice profit for us. We're still at FSLY. I still like FSLY. FSLY still looks pretty good. Had a nice profit, by the way, in J&J the other day. That was a pretty good one. Humana was a decent one. Caterpillar, we had some good profit, 50% profit in Caterpillar. But it's very difficult to try to find very many stocks to trade on a swing basis. And today it's very difficult to find anything to try to trade on an intraday basis. Imagine selling an iron condor in November. Yeah. That's why I don't like iron condors. Those wicks and tails like that with those big moves, they destroy them. put a condor on, and 1 minute you're trying to close the calls, and the next minute you're trying to close the puts and getting hit on both of them. Okay. And yes, you know, I closed my splash triangle for a loss this morning. It wasn't making any kind of headway for me, so I took it off. I took a loss on that. Didn't get it at the gap that I was looking for, so I took it off. Got a lot of noise here in the house right now, so I'm going to shut this mic off briefly. Took my LYB off for a $10 profit per contract. I didn't have very many. I'm going to review this again. I don't. It's got some resistance here that I don't really want to fight. It's 62.38. So I got a little pop here, so I took the profits right there. So I'm out of it right now. And you with some nice movement today. Took a pounding yesterday. Went all the way down to 50-day moving average. making a pretty decent short setup. I wouldn't use it out of the money, though. I would use it in the money Nike puts. Again, I took LYB off. I did make $25 a contract on it somehow. But I put it in order to take it out with a $10 profit, and for some reason, they filled me 15 cents higher. Anyway, I'm out of that one, and I'm considering Nike short here. And a few high volume candles popping it up to the VWAP, but I want to see if it'll break down below here. Again, short, being short is a little tricky here today with the market being as strong as it is. But I can't find anything I want to trade long. I did take some Nike puts here. I'll put them up here. I'm not really suggesting buying anything right now because it's pretty bad market conditions. But I did buy some Nike puts. Next week's. So I bought the 313, March 13th, $60 puts, in the money puts. And I paid $201 for them. Yeah, the market is relatively strong. So I don't really want to get too involved in too many shorts here. But I did take some Nike puts here. All right, just moving slowly here. You know, all I got on right now is Nike short. I did take an LYB position. I got right out of it. I made $25 a contract on it, but I didn't. The resistance was, I didn't see the resistance when I put the trade on, so I took it off as soon as I noticed that and was able to make some money on it. But I didn't want to stay in it. Still an HD short with a debit spread. Probably going to hold on to that. PG not doing much here today. Still sinking down, but kind of at least finding a little bit of support now. Is the ERAS up just a bit today? I got a sell order. If you're in the ERAS, I know some folks are in there with me. I got a sell order on it at 310. It's trading at 255 right now. 255. Right, about 12:15 here. Market really not doing an awful lot. It's really compressing here now. Again, the SPY is right up against resistance on the daily chart, right up against the 8 and the 15 EMA. And the Qs right now have gotten through the resistance. They actually have some room up to 613.18 on the Qs. 613.18. Then they've got the 100 and the 50-day moving average above that. But no, nothing's moving very much right now. Again, it did take some Nike short. It's just kind of moving along the VWAP. And I'm still an HD short. Get out of that try at 760. It's trading 710 right now. So that was a decent exit. Hey, Carol, you were talking about having a bot that requires certain volume in the direction. Again, I don't trade bots. I just trade manually on intraday trades and swing trades. And the volume does make a big difference, though. And I have the colored candles to indicate high volume candles: yellow, high volume bearish; white, high volume bullish. I think on the Ninja platform, it's yellow for bearish and blue for bullish. But I put blue on here, but it doesn't show up very well. So I'm sticking with the white for high volume bullish candles. I mean, tiny. They maybe got clobbered yesterday. It was down about $20. Hog moving up very, very slowly though. Just not an awful lot of movement here on any of these stocks. Moderna just moving sideways. This Gemmy, that's moving up pretty good. That was the one that I already talked about. Crypto. It says Gemini Space, but it's actually crypto. It's got resistance right now at the 50-day moving average, which is at 880. 880. It's the resistance in TMI. Those are high volume candles right there. So to take a trade in this, taking the high volume candles, that's what you would write up. That shows momentum. It shows institutional buying. You can see the current time frame momentum is showing institutional buying, but it's getting fairly close to resistance level. I doubt that it actually has weekly options too. It does sweep. It does have weekly options. GEMI. 850s, 30 by 35 cents, $8.60 by 70. That's not too bad, actually. It's just kind of getting close to the 50-day moving average, which again, as I said, is around 880, 885. GEMI pulled back there a little bit. Slowly my Nike puts. Those are next week's puts in Nike. Hey, James. Job number come out. Yeah, the ADP number came out this morning. It was decent, but they dropped last month's down to 11,000, so it was quite a big adjustment for the January numbers. Did I take an track on Nike? No, I did not take. I took next week's. Here it is right there. I took next week's $60 puts. Those are in the money puts for a week out. So that's a standard either longer intraday trade or a swing trade on Nike. I did not take. Okay, see it now. It's Tristan. Okay, yeah, cool. Yeah, I forget what the job number was exactly on that. I can try to find it. I saw it this morning. Didn't really impact the market very much at all. Private companies added 63,000 jobs in February. January revised to just 11,000 additions. That's from ADP. So the 63,000 was okay. I mean, it's not great, but it's okay. But January back down to 11,000 from 160, I think, is not so good. Yeah, I'm not anxious to jump into anything here right now. The market doesn't really have any momentum at all. It's just drifting sideways. Huge drifting sideways. Market internals are just moving sideways as well. Everything is just moving sideways right now. Very, very flat market at this point. We have Nike on. We take a profit in TRI this morning. I also took a profit in Marriott that I had on yesterday. That was a nice trade. But other than that, I did trade LYB, but I took it off fairly quickly because it was too close to resistance that I hadn't seen. So I took it off, but I did make $25 a contract on it, so that was okay. About 12:26. Gonna have lunch about 12:45 or so. right, see if we have any questions. There's really not much to say here about this market right now. I missed it. Did I get out of FSLY? I did not, Paul. I'm still in FSLY. Still in FSLY. It's pulling back a little bit today. We look at the daily chart on it right here. Still like it. Still like it long. You know, it's not unusual for a stock to get up like this and then come back to the 8, which it did yesterday. It moved up this morning. Looking for it to try to get up to the top of that gap, about $22.50, about $2 higher, and take a profit. I may change the sell order on it, lower it down a little bit from 440. Right now, I'm still holding it at 440. Right now, it's trading at not even close to that, I'm sure. FSO is trading at 325. 325. So it's pretty much break even for us right now. It's good till the 27th of March, so we get some time on it. Did take a profits in the TRI today, though, out at 760 on that one. A little after 12:30. Pretty much watching the market do nothing here right now. Again, I'm short Nike with next week's puts. I'm giving them a little bit of time. I'm also short Home Depot for this week's put debit spread, which is still moving up. But again, the daily charts on both of these trades are very, very bearish. And we did take TRI off today. That was a nice one. We're still in FSOY. Let me see this thing bounce. PG still not working at all. I'm looking to see if we get a bounce in. We do have a lot of time on PG, but the problem is it's out of the money. I want to see it get up above 162.50 again before too long. Otherwise, I'm just going to have to take it off. SKM with a little move up here today. It's that stock I mentioned a few weeks ago that's heavily invested in Anthropic. All right, I'm going to get some lunch. It's about 12:41. I'm going to go ahead and shut down the YouTube feed and grab some lunch. I'm really not missing too much in the market here right now. Again, I am short Nike. We'll see what it does. I still like it short, but it's next week's puts. PG is really not doing anything for us today. And SPY just moving sideways. Very, very compressed market here for the last 2 hours. I haven't seen anything to try to trade. I did take out YB and made some money on it, but I had to rethink it because it was much too close to resistance that I hadn't seen. So that's where we are right now. And again, I'm also short HD, which I'm going to see what it looks like at the end of the day. That's a debit spread, so not so bad. Yeah, HD. Yes, it is. It's still bearish. I mean, I gotta stick with it because it's below the 100-day moving average. As long as it stays below the 100 with its debit spread, I'll give it overnight. See if it pulls back down tomorrow. It's still a bearish setup in the thing. There's lows kind of bearish as well. And the Nike short, I still think that that's kind of a doji sandwich right there set up. We'll see if it continues down today. Right now, the market's not doing anything. And again, this SPY chart. If you want to take a picture of the SPY chart and put it on your wall, I tell you this is probably the worst trading environment that I've seen in 17 years. Is this mess right here? This is more what you look for. This is just a complete mess. Wicks and tails all over the place on this chart. Just no follow through. Just absolute mess to try to. That's why swing trading is so very, very difficult right now. And the UMCAT trades are great if we can find them. I haven't found any today. I had a nice one yesterday in Circle, but again, there really hasn't been a lot of stocks that with follow through to the upside or the downside for that matter. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and close down YouTube today. Thank you very much to everybody out here for watching YouTube. I appreciate it. Nissy, thank you. Appreciate it. And again, if you go to rightlinetrading.com, you can join my room. I'm in here every day from market open to market close. We also have an alert service, and we have the software that you can buy. This is the SPY Super System software. This is an outstanding piece of software to help you know when institutions are in the trades, when they're not, when to take them. This is how we do intraday trades called the SPY Super System trades and the UMCAT trades, out of the money catalyst trades based on volume and momentum. And we had one yesterday, by the way, in Circle. I'll show you. CRCL. Whoops. Had a nice trade yesterday. Circle short, out long. I mean, go back and see it. Here's the opening yesterday. There it is right there. See the high volume candles moving up. That little run up right there, it gave us about 35 or 40%. So that was a pretty nice trade. And here it is today, opened up strong. But look at the mixed candles on this thing. Just not doing anything today, moving just sideways. All right, so listen, thanks everybody for being here. I appreciate it. I'll go ahead and shut down YouTube, and we'll be back tomorrow about 11:30 in the morning for about an hour. So see you then. Thank you very much. Trade well, everybody.